No space for passing traffic on a day whose rituals predate the motor car. A, count them, 6-horsepower carriage, the King on board. Much of all of this unchanged in years.
Morning, Prime Minister.
But here's a bit not seen in a while. These are the plans to be unveiled today of a Labour Prime Minister. This then, their election promises, or at least some of them, today with horses, fancy dress and trumpets. A parliamentary official known as Black Rod, no matter how quickly she walks, gets the door to the Commons slammed in her face.
Black Rod!
To symbolise the independence of the House of Commons. And so to the speech, written by the government, read by the King.
My government's legislative programme will be mission-led and based upon the principles of security, fairness and opportunity for all. Stability will be the cornerstone of my government's economic policy.
A knowing smile from the new Chancellor. Being trusted to manage the economy and firing it up is key for Labour. And here's one big way they hope to do it.
My ministers will get Britain building, including through planning reform, as they seek to accelerate the delivery of high-quality infrastructure and housing.
Next, transport and a plan to give local leaders more power over local buses in England, and this on trains in England, Scotland and Wales.
My ministers will bring forward legislation to improve the railways by reforming rail franchising, establishing Great British Railways and bringing train operators into public ownership.
And what about dealing with crime and small boat crossings?
My government will seek to strengthen the border and make streets safer.
Big issues that were the old government's problem and now are for the new government to sort, or try to. Ministers also want to give people in England who rent their homes more rights and, eventually, eradicate smoking. And this is worth a glance, the civility of small talk between victors and the defeated. It looks like Rishi Sunak approves of the new Deputy Prime Minister's dress colour.
Order!
To the debate then, and the Prime Minister.
Sir Keir Starmer!
Change is what this government of service will deliver. A King's speech that takes the brakes off our economy and shows to the British people that politics can be a force for good. A rejection in this complicated and volatile world of those who can only offer the easy answer, the snake oil charm of populism.
Mr Sunak, the Conservative leader for now, said his party would be a professional and effective opposition, and he wanted to address Labour MPs.
If I may offer some words of advice to members opposite. On the government benches, life comes at you fast. You might end up being called to the highest office. And before you know it, you have a bright future behind you, and you are left wondering whether you can credibly be an elder statesman at the age of 44.
This is often a day for lighter moments, but more serious ones as well. The Liberal Democrats said Labour faced massive challenges.
They have a big job to do, and so do we. We work hard on behalf of our constituents. We will scrutinise the government's plans carefully and strive to improve them. And, Mr Speaker, we will oppose them when we think they've got it wrong.
And plenty here think the government's got it wrong by keeping the two-child benefit cap, which prevents most parents claiming for a third child.
The decision not to scrap the two-child benefit cap shows Labour choice not to prioritise the immediate needs in the here and now of nearly a third of children in Wales who live in poverty. The decision not to fund it is a political decision.
And one of the new Green MPs in her first speech here set out what people who voted for her in Brighton wanted to focus on.
It was hard not to be affected by the strength of public feeling and distress about the climate emergency, the degradation of our natural environment, and the huge desire to defend social justice and public services. This Parliament must seek to deliver for them.
Tonight, have a guess which European leader Keir Starmer welcomed to Chequers. The drink familiar, even if the face isn't. Simon Harris is the newish Irish Prime Minister. Tomorrow, they'll both join more than 40 other European leaders for a summit in Oxfordshire. Chris Mason, BBC News.